Hey everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel, #MovieBay. I am MovieBay, and in this video, we are going to be talking about the commodification of Black trauma. Now, given my recent reviews on Master and Alice, I kind of wanted to dive into Black trauma and Black horror we've seen in most recent years with movies like Get Out, Two Distant Strangers, Them, The Hate U Give, Antebellum, American Skin, and the list just goes on and on and on. But upon watching movie reviews that just so happen to have Black trauma in it, a lot of people have an issue with Black trauma in movies. And those people want this genre specifically to come to an end. So let's talk about it. Why is Black trauma considered entertainment? Well, let's start with a couple of definitions. Now, trauma is an emotional response to a terrible event. Now, Black trauma or racial trauma is race-based traumatic stress. It is a cumulative effect of racism on an individual's mental and physical health. Now, I am the first person to bypass a slavery movie and not watch any police brutality, anything, because I'm just sick and tired of it. And I personally know how I am. If I know a movie is going to upset me or offend me, I'm not going to watch it. Case in point, when The Hate U Give came out in theater, we all knew, and I did not read the book, but we all knew that a young Black man was going to lose his life at the hands of a police officer. So as soon as they got pulled over, I walked out of the theater because I didn't want to see that. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to hear it. So I left the theater, stood outside for about 35 minutes, and then I came back because I knew, well, one, I didn't want to see that. Like, who wants to? Who wants to? And then I just knew that it was going to upset me. I'm the same with slavery movies. Just like when I did my series over Them, it just angered me so much. Like, I just don't like seeing racist shit. So I choose not to watch them. Now, a lot of people are similar to me because movies and television is supposed to be used as an escape, a release from what is happening in the real world. So what happens when our real world is now depicted on TV? Now, speaking on behalf of creatives, we write from experience. We write about what we know, what we've seen, what we've gone through, what our family has gone through, what we witnessed. We write about what's happening currently in the world, shit that has happened in the past, and shit that's just in our mind. We write whatever we feel that we're feeling at that moment. So I don't blame creatives like Little Marvin or, the creator of Two Distant Strangers, because that was the climate of the world, and they wanted to write about it. Now, Black creators, first off, let me talk about this. White people creating Black trauma, though, fucking no. Don't do that shit. They should not do that shit, period. Now, Black creators, if you want to create Black content, do that. Unfortunately, Black history is horrific. Black trauma is entertainment in the sense of storytelling, and we have to tell our stories. It's representation. And unfortunately, what we've gone through as a culture, as a race, it isn't and wasn't always pleasant. I feel like audience members have issues when there doesn't seem to be a balance in Black stories. Like, don't just give us traumatic shit, also give us the lighthearted and hopeful shit too. Now, when creating a horror noir, I've broken it down into two things. All right, so this is specifically for my creatives. Consider the audience. Who are you making this movie for? And then consider the message. What do you want us to take away from this movie? Though, if you think about those two things, you might get some shit right. Here are the don'ts. All right, don't be brutally violent for shock value. All right, let's talk about Them. Now, a lot of people did not like the series Them because it was very brutal to the main characters, which were a Black family. I mean, not just a Black family, but they were a dark-skinned, melanin-popping Black family. Okay, now they meaning the creators, did add to the conversation of Black history. So they talked about real estate and systemic racism, and they did have a lot of other great talking points. However, it was very, very brutal. And then at the end, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, justice wasn't really served. The family never really got the revenge on the people who were doing them wrong for fucking 10 episodes. Now, the reasons why other social commentary movies such as Get Out works so well is because it is not brutal. It was still light enough to be enjoyable, relatable, and understandable because even white people understood the message. Hell, even white people were rooting for Chris, okay? Fun fact about Get Out that you probably already know, there were obviously multiple endings. Now, there's one where, the one we saw in theaters, there's the one where Chris dies, and there's the one where Chris goes to prison. Now, test audiences weren't really feeling it. You know, they were rooting for Chris up until the end. It was a great movie up until the end, and then it was like, damn, reality, right? Jordan Peele read the room, literally and figuratively, and the climate of the world, and was like, you know what? Black people need a hero right now. So what if it's not realistic? This is what we need right now. That's what a lot of creators need to fucking do. Read the room, read the state of the world. So I feel like with them, you could have kept the concept of the show, but take out some things that are just gut-wrenchingly bad, or leave all that shit in, but let the Emery family be fucking successful at the end. Don't give us a fucking cliffhanger. Give us justice. So, continuing with the do's, creators, please be sure that you actually have a message in your content, and that's writing 101. And don't just have a message. Have a good message, please. Add to the conversation instead of just retelling and reliving shit that we already know. Like, we have a million slavery movies. What is yours going to say differently? One prop that I can give to that movie Alice, starring Keke Palmer, is that they did try to add something new to the conversation by mentioning how Black people were still enslaved even after the Emancipation Proclamation. I didn't know that. I mean, like, I knew that, but up until the 70s, like, damn. So, like, they really, like, educated me on some things. So it's not like this is just a regular slavery movie. Let's dive into another part of slavery that a lot of people probably don't know. Like, that is what I mean by adding to the conversation. Don't just have us up here going through the millionth slavery movie. Like, come on. Like, Birth of a Nation. Nat Turner, another slavery movie, but this is a slavery movie I get down with because he was on a rampage, okay? And yeah, he was murdered at the end, but baby, I feel like that was worth it. I feel like, you know, he was killing white men, white women, white children. He was killing them all, okay? And I feel like, you know what? Yeah, I know he didn't make it, but goddamn it, he tried to make a difference, okay? Adding something different to the conversation. Now, this video, after, you know, me re-listening to it, kind of turned into like a them versus Get Out type video, and that's wasn't my intent at all. I just feel like those were two good examples of what not to do versus what to do when it comes to creating social commentary content. And it even goes back further, like, to Boys in the Hood versus Menace to Society. Like, Boys in the Hood gave us that real, and Menace to Society gave us that real, but it was still light. And I say that in the most psychopathic way possible. But yeah, like, rewatch value high. So that's what we mean by giving us a balance. Like, yes, we have a message, and then we have the one that's the message, but still, you know, relatable and enjoyable. Like, as Black people, as Black content creators, we have to have a balance. Well, in conclusion, what it comes down to is history versus torture. Is this movie going to come with a lesson? Is this movie going to come with new knowledge? Is this movie going to come with justice, revenge, or ratification? If the payout is not worth the trauma, the audience will not support said content. Thank y'all so much for tuning into my YouTube channel, #MovieBae. I am MovieBae. Feel free to drop your comments down in the comment section. What are your views on Black trauma being in the media? Do you agree that it really just comes with a balance? Do you want to see the genre eliminated altogether? What are your thoughts? Like this video if you've made it thus far, and don't forget to click that subscribe button. I'll see you next time. It's a date.